Okay. Who's ready? Because I'm not. Start the stopwatch. All games. Start a new game. Who's ready? 3, 2, 1. Add. Wait for it. So why am I doing this? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea. Just playing this game with my son, and it's very easy. You just follow the footprints. That's literally all you do. So, I don't know. Seemed like a fun speed game. We'll see if I regret that. So, stay tuned to find out. And go. Well, I assume. Oh, man. We're gaming now. Alright, keep jumping. Well done. This voice is gonna drive me crazy, I can already tell. Yes! Okay, so we want to avoid doing that. I'm pretty sure there's actually some speed tech in this regarding quitting out. I watched a couple minutes of another speedrun, and it seems like there's certain missions where when you complete them it's faster to quit out than it is to actually go to your destination, but I'm not gonna do that. Can I jump this? No. Wait a minute, I shouldn't know how to use this yet. It's like I'm hacking. So, what's weird is that you can rapidly tap the X, but the game never tells you that. Like I said, I was playing this casually with my son, and it never told us that. I'm just sitting there holding X, and it takes so long. It takes so long. Like, I swear that the developers put that in there just for themselves. Because it really does never tell you that. And I'm kind of curious if there's actually, like, some characters that are faster than others. I doubt it. Like, let's think about the audience of this game. But at the same time, like, they made it where you can spam through the X events, so I'm not sure if they intended this to be a speed game or not. So yeah, every time you need to do something, it shows you the paw prints, and you can just follow them. See? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, as a speed game, or as a game in general, you don't even have to think when you're playing this game. And I guess that's the point, because it's for 3-year-olds, but like, it's kind of nice for like a chill speed game. I'm just trying to convince myself this was a good idea. You can't skip this stuff as far as I know. I'm pushing every button. What a shame. Anyways, the estimate for this is like an hour and 30 something minutes, so enjoy this time. We're 3 minutes in, and I'm kind of regretting it, but I'm gonna lock in. The thing I didn't think about is how many unskippable videos like this I have to watch. Because like I said, I think it's somewhat chill to just play through the missions, but when you have to sit through those cutscenes... Oh, I messed up. Oh, that was bad. Okay. Big time loss there, at least 3 seconds. It's like, respect my time, lady, just... You know? So, we want to avoid the treats, because when you do the treats, it fills up that box meter at the top, and every time you do that, it does this really long cutscene telling you that you unlock something. So yeah, we don't want that. We don't want it to take longer. We want to go fast. And yeah, there's like a setting where normally you have to change to the correct character before you do the action, otherwise it'll like get mad at you and tell you to do that. I guess to teach kids to like follow rules or something. But yeah, there's an option where you can just turn that off, which further convinces me that they did sort of intend people to be able to play this fast. Because why would they make it an option to turn off? I'm also kind of thinking maybe the devs just got sick of it and just had it in there for themselves. I mean, when you're making a kid game like this, there must be so many little things that you just want to change because you're an adult playing it, and you have to keep reminding yourself, like, there's a 3-year-old behind that controller, or maybe like a 3-year-old and a adult who's helping, you know, but regardless, oh my gosh, tutorials. Okay, so I think it's actually the next mission that you're supposed to like quit out and go back in if you want to be fast, but I don't want to like misjudge that and do it wrong, so I'm just gonna take the time loss like a true speedrunner who doesn't know what they're doing. So I got tricked in this game. I thought that everything was in this Adventure Bay area, and like once you finish, you're done. And then I'm playing this with my son, like I mentioned, and we get to the end of Adventure Bay's mission, and then it's like, hey, now go here to this new world. And that's when I realized we were a fourth of the way done with the game. Meanwhile, I was thinking we were done. So this game's 4 times longer than I thought. And by the way, I don't have control over any of this. Like, once you spam the X button, it's just like doing everything for you. So if you thought there was something to this game, no. It's literally just movement and then pressing X a bunch. And then spamming A, and then movement, and then spamming X. So, yeah. Definitely give this a try for yourself if you want to just waste some time. But you know, the real draw is that you're almost guaranteed a spot on the leaderboard if you do this. I'm playing this on Xbox and there's 1 entry, so even if I lose, I get 2nd place, so it's kind of nice, right? Accidental honk there, that's a big time loss actually. I'm gonna make that joke a lot, so prepare for that. Also, I'm realizing that I placed the camera over like the mission objective. So in the top left it's telling me what to do, and that's where I put my camera. So sorry, you're just never gonna know what my objective is. It'll keep you guessing. But, you know, maybe every once in a while I'll read it out to you. It says, repair festival sign. And I'm so glad that I watched like a few seconds of that speedrun before starting this, because legitimately holding X instead of spamming it takes 4 times longer. You can see it just goes when you hold it, it's like da 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 da. So yeah. Okay, so you hear like that guy making an announcement on the blimp. You see how that's misleading? Story progression, you're like, okay, I'm getting close to done. You're not. That's just for this zone. Don't be fooled by this children's game trying to convince you to play longer. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, okay. Couple seconds lost there. Oops. This is the other thing that annoys me, is that you can turn on the setting where, like I mentioned before, it'll auto change you to whatever character you need to be. And so you think you're safe, you think you're good, but then there's only one character, Zuma. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's the time loss. Every time we pick up those treats, we fill up that meter, and we don't want that. Okay, anyways, there's only one character that can go in the water. His name's Zuma. So you would think that if you're if you have that setting enabled of always switch me to the correct character, that anytime you approach the water, it's just gonna auto choose Zuma. But it doesn't. It just doesn't choose Zuma, and you just have to do it yourself every time. And it's super frustrating because I expect that as soon as I touch the water, it's just gonna switch me to Zuma, and it doesn't. Oh my god. Please don't watch like the other speedruns of this and realize how bad I am. Those people are like, you know, actually trying to do something, and I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing. But the other frustrating thing is that you try to avoid these treats to not fill up that meter, but then every time you finish a mission, you fill up that meter anyways. So it's kind of unavoidable time loss there. We found him. And see, that's the problem too, is that I didn't want to sit through an hour and 20 minutes of watching a speedrun of this. Especially because the ones that I found are just in silence. It's just people playing this game in silence. Which is crazy to me. Like, why are you playing this game in silence? Why are you playing this game at all? But anyways, so that's why I'm not going to sit there and watch the whole speedrun to learn the tech, because, you know, kind of the point of, to me, of watching speedruns is the dialogue, the banter, See, this is the one where I'm pretty sure you're supposed to quit out. Should I do it? I don't want to risk it, though. But anyways, yeah, so that's why I don't know what I'm doing, and I didn't watch a speedrun of this, because all the runs so far are just, no offense to the other runners, but they're not commentated, so they're not very interesting. Not that this one will be, but, you know, like, at least more so than just watching the game. I think. Maybe not. And this is where it also gets misleading, is that this game just draws a line from wherever you're at to where you're supposed to be. It doesn't actually, like, path it out. It's just like, go this way, and draws paw prints. And sometimes that leads you through some pretty bad places that you don't need to be. Like, it'll lead you into the grass when you could have stayed on the road, or vice versa. You need to be in the grass, but it looks like you're supposed to go through the road. So that's probably the hardest part of this, is just knowing when the paw prints are leading you astray or not, because they do some wacky stuff. I also don't know if, like, all the vehicles have the same speed. Like, when I was playing earlier, I felt like what's his name? The yellow dog. I thought that his car was the fastest, but I think it was just my imagination, honestly. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, because, like, I feel like I did know all their names at one point. And he has his own show, so I should know it. What is it? Well, I'll learn it later. This is Marshall, by the way. He's the fire truck guy, and he is my son's favorite. And I am happy about that, because, yeah, fire truck guys are cool. Chase is okay, but I feel like he's just a little too, like, I'm the cool one, I'm the boss, and you're like, are you cool? Are you the boss? It's debatable, you know? And I mean, is it really his fault, or was he just kind of born into that role? It's hard to say. And okay, this is something else that's really weird about this show and game, is like, For some reason, every dog in this universe is like allergic to cats. Like when they get around, actually Marshall just in general sneezes a lot more than you would expect. It's just like his gimmick, I guess. He's just like, achoo! Like, why are you sneezing all the time? Um, yeah, so, but anyways, if they, see? He said achoo. Why? Um, so, anytime this game, anytime this game talks about, cats though, or mentions that there's been cats around, then the dogs just start sneezing, and I'm like, what is the lore there? Like, why are all dogs allergic to cats? And also, it's one of those weird universes where, like, dogs are sentient and can talk and are highly respected and, you know, have these roles in society. But then the cats are just, like, normal animals and everyone hates them for some reason. It's such a weird gimmick in these shows and movies. Like, what? Wait, was that it? Okay. It's always a weird gimmick to me, though, because, like, it kind of alienates those kids who... Okay, this must be the one where you quit out, because... I don't know if I have a mini-map to look at, but this feels far. This could be a big time loss. Like, what about these kids who have cats for pets? Like, are we just saying, like, oh, yeah, you have a cat, okay, cool. It feels disrespectful. Not only to the animal, but, which, I mean, they'll never know. But, like, to the people who own cats, people who love cats, it's just like, yeah, you're a second-class citizen. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but you know what I mean? It's just like, why can't both be cool? Why can't cats? Like, you could choose any other animal, really, if you think about it, to be the villain animal. Like, it could be monkeys. It could be like, uh, it could be a lot of different animals, but it just always ends up being cats. Which is like, that's the one other pet people have. Like, if you ask someone if they have a pet, it's either a dog or a cat for the most part. So, like, why choose the other most common pet to be the enemy, to be the bad one? Like, make it something uncommon. Make it something that no one has. Like a monkey, or, you know, I would even say, like, birds, you know? Birds are cool, birds are chill, but, like, they could put... What? They are probably a better villain than cats are. To me, at least. Being very biased, having 5 cats. But, oh my gosh, stop telling me about everything. Please. And then what? And then what? Where do I go? Game's not telling me anything. Hello? Oh my gosh, how did I not see him? Okay. That's on me. Jeez. It's not going well, guys. This might be a sub 140, honestly. Ugh. It's disappointing to admit that I will spend an hour and 40 minutes on this. And like I said, I didn't watch the speedrun. There could be like some thing that I need to do that saves an hour, and I just am not aware of it. But like, I'm pretty positive this game's not gonna have actual skips. I'm pretty sure it's just do what the game tells you, and then drive. Which, I mean, like, that's, if you think about it, it's like most games. Drive to the spot, push this button, drive to the spot, push this button. Like, we can kind of make fun of this game and, you know, disrespect it, but like, it's kind of the loop. They kind of just did the loop, but for kids, you know? Fetch missions, repair this missions, fly over here missions, scout this out. Like, it's just exposing what we all already know. Yeah. But, you know, this is the thing okay, so you hear that little alert? It's weird because the blimp flies around the whole island and, like, it could be really close, it could be really far away, and you can hear that when I get further away, you don't hear it as well. But that little alert sound is like blaringly loud no matter where you are on the map. It's like you're always right next to it in terms of like the game engine. I'm not sure why. I guess they just always want you to hear it. What was I saying? Video games. Yeah, so I guess I'm just... Oh, right. So the thing I do respect about this game is if you go into two-player mode and you play with another person, it is actually a fairly smooth process. Like, I kind of expected, like, they're gonna cut some corners, like, it's gonna be one of those things where, like, don't get too far away from your partner, and then it warps you, zooms you back, but, like, as far as I could tell, I never encountered that. I didn't try to test the limits of it, but you know, we would spread out a bit on the map, and it would let us do that, and it would be fine with it. Which is kind of impressive for a game like this. I mean, you know, it's not doing a whole lot, but like, still, most games have that restriction. If you're gonna have this split screen experience, like you have to stay within some distance of each other. There's that alert again. See what I'm saying? And I also want to know like why sometimes you have to spam X a ton and then other times you just like push it twice. Like that time it felt like I pushed it twice. I don't know. There's probably some strat there that I'm not aware of. Because I'm not aware of any strats in this. I also don't know why I'm leaning forward like gamer mode. Anyways, the interesting thing, it's like 3 different characters all just pressing the same button here. I enjoy that you don't actually get to drive with Chickaletta on your car. That just every time it does this, spoiler alert, you do that multiple times, it always just warps you to wherever you need to be. They just couldn't like figure out that aspect. Oh my god. No. I don't want to be chased. So I keep losing my train of thought because I'm so focused on the gameplay. Not sure how actual speedrunners do this. Talk and play. But anyways, we're 20 minutes in. Feeling okay. This mission bothers me because you just do the same thing. Okay, the whole game is doing the same thing over and over, but why do I have to move this box and then it says well done and then move the other box and then it says well done? Like just tell me well done at the end, you know? Like wait till I'm done completely and then tell me well done. You don't have to tell me after each box. That's just like annoying. Like, if I was helping someone and every time I moved a moving box they're like well done, I'd be like, dude, I'm done helping you. Also, why does he say mission complete but there's still boxes? And why does Sky have to do it now? Why couldn't he have moved that one? Oh, because he wants to put it on top. Okay. That's fair, but like we don't actually have to put him right there. We could have moved him to the other side. And then okay, and then like this is funny to me because after this box, we're gonna move that one there, and then there's a broken up box. So our entire purpose is to get these boxes out of the way. But when we see this broken up box, what do you think we do? Do you think we just move the pieces out of the way? No, 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 no. First, we have to fix the box. Fix the box so that we can move it out of the way. Can you explain the logic to that? So, how does he use a drill to repair it? What is this teaching our children? You can just drill something and it'll fix it? That's not true. As far as I'm aware. Well done. And like that whole sequence did not need to be that long. Like it could have been. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die for those time losses. Look, it's cats. Let me guess. They're evil. I mean, I already know they are, but like... What was that? Let's roll. Well done. It was 1 foot away. Like, this is for kids, but like, respect their time at least somewhat, you know? Like, respect the fact that they... Okay, let me just go on a little rant here. When I wanted to play a video game as a 3-year-old, I had to go play like Aladdin on the SNES. I'm aging myself here, but like I had to go play these games that are like notoriously impossible for children or anyone for that matter. Whereas this is like, yeah, just go here and click X, okay. And like, yeah, I could, you know, not have my child play this game, but like when you scroll through the store to look at games to buy and they see Paw Patrol, of course they're gonna pick that. I mean, that's why I played Aladdin. That's why I played The Lion King as a kid. You know, because I love Aladdin movie. I love Lion King movie. I want to play that game. And then like, you boot it up and you're like, oh my god, how do I do this? What am I doing? You know, I jump on their heads. What? And then you get initiated into the world of gaming, which I guess this is doing to some degree. You know, fetch missions. It's like an intro to like a certain type of game. You know, like an MMO or a Assassin's Creed type game. It's like preparing your brain for that as an adult. But anyways, it's not. But I still think that it should respect your time a little bit more. It should respect the brains of children and not think that like, okay, they need to hear well done after every single action they take, and like, hey, go to this spot and then move 2 feet to the left. Well done. Like, there's no point. Anyways, I really wish you could skip these. Feels like it's the biggest time loss. And of course, like, okay, this is another thing that bothers me, is the entire, like, thing we're doing in every world is collecting the Paw Patrol Day posters. But, like, I feel like everyone in this fictional world should be very aware of this Paw Patrol Day. Like, we don't need posters. Also, there's 4 worlds, so you're telling me we're doing all this for 4 posters? Why don't we just go print more? That was weird, like that. That NPC had like a really weird voice, right? And like in the right side of my ear. Anyways, we're doing all this for some posters. And I'm not sure what's the deal. But anyways, that's the first world done. 1 of 4. I guess we're a 4th of the way done. Not sure if that's true time-wise, but maybe. Okay, so jungle. What's different about it? There's less roads. So you move slower. So that's fun. There's also a lot more water, so I think we'll see a lot more Zuma, the water guy. Other than that, it's the same. Go figure. There's a certain scene in this where what's the other guy's name? He just like holds out his arms and just like shakes them over and over, and it's really funny to me. See, what is that? Like, let's roll. Move 3 feet. Well done. I just don't understand. In terms of gameplay, it's pointless. In terms of like a child's like receptors of doing something correctly, it just feels insulting, kind of. Like, I could just go to the rock and click it, right? I think that honestly what it is there's some sort of sequence that they have to do for each mission, like in terms of how they program it. and like they can't load in one asset until another asset's deloaded or something. I don't know, I'm making it up, but it feels like it's got to be something like that. Because why else do I need to walk 1 foot and then do that, and then walk another foot and do that? Anyways, I'm sorry. Don't teach me how to use stamps. I don't care. Oh, what a... I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. The other thing that upsets me is why is the mayor of the other town... Okay, why is the mayor of Adventure Bay... What is it called? Adventure Bay. That's the town the Paw Patrol live in. Why is she always like her entire persona or like thing is that she loses her chicken. And like why is that a thing? I don't like the actual problems that could exist in this game. I mean, you want to make it approachable and blah blah blah, but there's like 3 or 4 different times where you save her chicken. And it's like, why? Just put your chicken in a fenced-in area. I respect maybe that she wants it to be free range and like, but if it keeps escaping, is that really a better life? Like, one of those times it's gonna escape, and you know, Paw Patrol's not gonna be there to save it. And it's kind of like, was it better that it was free range? Maybe not. See that? Wow. Just like flaps his arms out like he's a chicken. Maybe it's a reference. So this is one of those times that I was telling you about where like it should auto swap me to Zuma, and you just have to take my word for it that it won't do that. That it will just sit there and tell you to use Zuma's vehicle. It doesn't actually like swap you to Zuma's vehicle, even though everything else does. What I do like about Zuma is that he always says dude. I think that's pretty funny. Like each of the Paw Patrollers, I don't know what you call them, have like their own little quirk, their own little thing. Like I think, actually I don't know, I'm maybe speaking out of term here, but Zuma's always said dude, Marshall's always like sneezing, and then there's one that like speaks Spanish. I think that's like his thing, which is cool. But I actually don't know what the other ones are. I know that like Sky's whole thing is that she's small, like, which is fine, but she's actually like not that much smaller than the rest of them. They always make like a big deal of it, but like she's not actually that much smaller. If I switch to her right now, like her character model is like practically the same. Oh my gosh. You saw that terrain just screw me over there, right? Something I also struggle with is like playing this kid game. Do I want to make it a family-friendly stream, you know? I think I've done an okay job so far, but... Oh no, see, we don't want that. We don't want that. I also like that they call it an emote. An emote. I said, I can't even say it incorrectly. They say emote instead of an emote. I actually think this is as far as I got in the actual game. So, 30 minutes in, just got another hour. What am I doing? Okay. Anyways, I wanted to do this just, you know, for fun. And then it took me like 30 minutes to find a webcam. I mean, actually, the truth is I found one right away. But when I plugged it in, it didn't work. And And then I plugged in another cam and it didn't work, and I plugged in another cam and it didn't work, and I started to just think, maybe the Xbox doesn't actually do this correctly. Hello? And then I realized that I guess it's just like the preview doesn't work, because every time it was saying preview loading and then it would just never load. So, but now that I'm streaming, it's fine. So it works, it just tells you it's not, or it just doesn't show you a preview correctly. Which is kind of strange. I don't know why I did that. Okay, yeah. This is where the jungle gets tricky, because it's harder to tell if something's drivable or not. It looks like the terrain is undrivable, but then, you know. I'm now realizing that I'm gonna end this at like 3 a.m. and that's really cool. Really cool to think about. So why is the snake nest in a tree? Is that a real thing? Can some zoologist chime in here? Do they actually put their... I would assume that a snake would always put its eggs on the ground. But, I mean, I guess if the tree lives in the... If the snake lives in a tree and its nest is in the tree, like, I get it, but it just seems bizarre to me. You know? Also, I kept reading that as meta instead of Matea. Paw Patrol saves Meta from potential lawsuits and privacy concerns. Too real. Kid friendly, sorry. Couldn't avoid that treat. If you hear honking, that's because the honk button is A. That's what I'm spamming constantly, so every once in a while you gotta hear that honk, because I'm just spamming it. This pup's gotta fly. So Sky, I believe, likes to fly. I haven't confirmed that, but based on the helicopter and her name, it seems likely. Marshall, he likes to put out fires. Actually, okay, Rubble, that's the one I couldn't think of. Rubble. Because his show is Rubble and Crew, and I should have known that. He likes to build stuff, so that makes sense. And then, like, see these paw prints? Like, what are they doing? This is one of those times where I'm like, I probably should get on my vehicle, but as soon as I do, I'm gonna run into a stump, and it's... You see what I mean? Like, it's so hard to know if you're... Don't be fooled by that elephant. That's not what you're after. And I'm now remembering that I did do this parrot mission, so I lied to you earlier. I think this is exactly where I stopped. But who knows? See, like, why did Sky need to scout that out? You could see the parrot from the ground. Like, she didn't need to fly up and look. It's like, I know that if a kid was sitting here watching this, they'd be like, parrot's right there, dude. Like, it's not like you're stooping to their level, like you're going below their level. Maybe that's the point. Like, you think about these shows like Dora the Explorer, and they're like, where's the map? And it's like so obviously behind them. I'm thinking maybe like that's the point. Like, you make it so obvious and like to where they're like, oh, I'm smart. Like, I figured it out. That was tricky, and I figured it out. And it's like, I think that's good. I think it's good to encourage that. But it also feels a little insulting. Just a little bit. Because you're never actually meeting them at that level of, like, actually think about this. You're not like challenging them. That's the trade-off, I guess. But I guess you could argue that's the trade-off with like generally teaching children. You have to meet the lowest common denominator or whatever. Not the, you know what I mean. Not like lowest, not in an insulting way, but just if one kid's struggling, you can't be like everyone just learn this. Like you have to go to the, like meet them where they're at, and if one kid's not getting it, then you gotta keep it at that level. Um, I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyways, this guy scans things. I think this is our first time seeing him, but this is the one that speaks Spanish, I think, which is pretty cool. And he drives a Jeep. That's pretty cool. And then, okay, yeah, you know what? I lied again because I did do this mission because I remember that the chicken goes on top of your car and you think like, okay, I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to drive with the chicken on my car and it'll be kind of funny. And then it just warps you there. It just doesn't even give you the pleasure of seeing the chicken on the car in movement. It's just like, boop. Like, come on. Kids would love that. They'd be like, oh my gosh, there's a chicken on my car. That's so funny. You know? But just rob them of that. I assume it's a technical reason. Like, oh, we don't actually know how to prevent you from, like, okay, let's say you're just gonna abandon the mission. I think that's the thing they probably struggle with the most in this kind of game is, like, a kid's attention span. Like, I can go here and talk to a writer and start this mission, but then I can just not do the mission. I can just go do whatever I want. So they can't ever give you objectives where it's like, pick this up, take it here. Because you could just pick it up and then just not do it. You could just run away. And they always have to keep that in mind. And that's why they're limited in how they can conduct these missions. Basically always has to be like the one time you actually do get something, it just warps you. You get what I'm saying? And then it makes you think about like those games like Elder Scrolls and stuff. And like how do they think of every possibility of, you know, order? I get that most of it is just like triggers, like you just trigger something and then trigger the next thing, blah blah blah. But like I just imagine thinking about like all the Boolean flags that must exist on the back end or like in the database. It's just like Boolean did kill this guy, Boolean did steal this item. Like I don't know how it works. I'm curious, honestly, if it's actually just a bunch of Booleans and there's like just thousands of Booleans of like, have you done this thing or not? And I mean, like that would be crazy, but like, you know, you look at the file size of those game or like of those saves, the game saves, and it really will be like gigabytes after a certain amount of time. Which also confuses me because it's like, okay, if it starts at like a couple megabytes, like 16 megabytes, and then oh, this is gonna be bad actually. Okay, there we go. And then it climbs to like gigabytes, then it must mean that, you know, because if it was just a bunch of booleans, it would take up the same space. Whether it's, you know, this or that, like a fresh save versus a 100-hour save, it would have the same amount of space taken up, right? Because it's just a bunch of booleans. And they all default to false or whatever, or true. So there must be something more to it. Obviously, there's like positional stuff. Like if I pick up a pickle and move it 10 feet this way, I think there's certain places where it would just forget. Like it would just, you know, not stay in that XYZ plane. But, you know, if it's in your house in Skyrim, then like it has to remember every single item and exact positioning of each item. That must be where like the gigabytes of file size or save size must come from. I'm curious, like, that should be like a speedrun category of like the the smallest file size. I mean, actually probably any percent is that, but knowing what the file size is in the beginning and end of the run compared to like a normal 100-hour save file. That'd be an interesting thing to look at. Maybe. Okay, I definitely didn't do this. I know I keep saying that, but like, I know for certain that I did not make it this far. So this is all new territory to me. And I'm pretty sure there's one character we haven't even played as yet. Have we played as the garbage truck guy? Feels like we haven't, but I'm probably wrong. Actually, we did, right? Because when we move all those boxes, we were that guy. I think the character that gets shirked the most is probably Everest. Oh, what? What? Oh, God. Okay, you all saw that, right? It just set me down the hill. Okay, I gotta be careful. I don't want that to happen again. That was very strange. That was like the game saying, like, you're going too fast, you need to slow down. Here's something to set you back. That's what it felt like. It's definitely not what happened, but... So, another thing in this world that's kind of weird is like, why do the dogs talk to the people? Why do the people not question the fact that dogs talk to them, but then like other animals don't? Like the mayor. Okay, how do I phrase this? The mayor should sort of recognize the fact that, okay, his whole thing is like, dogs are worse than cats. That's like his character persona. But like, if there were a world where dogs could talk and cats could not, I feel like there's no question about it anymore. Like, that does objectively make dogs better than cats. And maybe we can dispute that or like discuss that in the comments, but part of what makes us as humans the upper echelon of the animal kingdom is that we can communicate. You know, I think that's, without getting too political or whatever, that's what makes us great, right? That we can speak to each other, and it's what sets us apart, amongst other things. But, you know, him saying like, oh, cats are still better. Like, imagine a world where cats can't talk, but dogs can, and there's still some guy out there saying, sorry bro, cats are better. I mean, maybe there's something more philosophical there of like, maybe we would all be better if we couldn't communicate, and therefore cats are achieving that by not talking. They're actually better. But you know, I'm just struggling to understand where he's coming from. Still loving cats despite the fact that they cannot speak. And this is coming from someone who has 5 cats and 0 dogs, so I am biased, but I still don't agree with this guy in terms of what message he wants to get out there. Which, I mean, look at him. Also, so, there we go. Another poster. It's so loud. So there's your proof that I haven't gotten this far yet, since I'm getting achievements. But anyways, our entire reason for coming to this world is to get a poster. Oh, okay. Jake's gonna This feels like one of those times where I should quit out. Let's quit out. Cause like, yeah, I'm not even close to that truck. But again, I don't know, so I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm sorry. It's gonna be some seconds lost here, maybe even a minute. I don't know. Jeez, okay. If I ever run this again, I'll have to look that up. Spoiler alert, I won't. Alright. Why do I... Like... Why was that a mission? It's just telling me to go here. Okay, new area unlocked, and I haven't been here yet, so this is all new to me. And it's looking great, you know? Very snowy. Oh, and Ryder gets a costume change. How cool. I appreciate that they did that. But as you can see, the first mission is to rescue the stinking chicken. Because that's all she ever does is lose her chicken. Like... Just be like, Mayor, stop letting your chicken out. If it's free range, change that. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, I feel like Everest should have like her time in the sun here on this mountain since she's, you know, but I feel like despite that, it's not gonna happen. And if you don't know, in the show, she's like not even like in their group. She's like off on the edge, the fringes, and like every once in a while they'll be like, "Oh, we need to talk to Everest. She's gonna have the answer." And then they call her on like the satellite phone, and she, you know, helps them. And I'm like, is she really a part of the Paw Patrol if she's not even with you any of the time? She's more like a contractor. Also, why is Chicoletta in this snow? How did that happen? And again, like, it's always the same. It's like, you dig, you transport her, like, why does Everest need to transport her? They all have cars. And no, I messed up. Okay. And like they all have the chicken just sits on top of the car, right? So like why does it matter which car it sits on top of? It's the same experience for all of them. Anyways, why do I hear snoring? Oh, that's another thing that bothers me in this game is like knowing what's jump overable or not. Like that fence was luckily you could jump over it, but some of these fences they look exactly the same and it's just like no can do. Why'd you need a buoy? Just drive over there. Look! The animal's on top of his car! Just like Everest! Crazy! Also, I'm pretty sure sometimes Marshall's the medic and other times the other guy's the medic. We can have more than one medic, it's just kind of confusing for the lore of this game, of this group. You're just all medically trained? That's cool. Maybe that's a... Oh, this is bad. Maybe that's a prerequisite to become a Paw Patroller. You have to have your EMT license. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing my chances of first place slip away with every misinput. Because I mean, what else would set you back besides these misinputs? Well, like I said, there's probably some huge time saver that I'm just grossly unaware of. Also, if you don't know, the controls for the vehicles are like tank controls. I don't even know if you can say tank controls. You just use the left stick, and you just rotate and go forward and back. Every single one's the same, but it's very bizarre. And I don't feel like it's easier for kids to learn compared to like let's compare to what they've probably been playing, which is Mario Kart, you know? And that is not the case with Mario Kart. But then with Mario Kart, it's not like a lot of start and stops, so I feel like every single one of these, it would be faster to quit out than to drive through here. But maybe that depends on if you're on console or not. Earplugs? What? We're out here collecting earplugs? What? Why? I'm lost in the lore. The lore has left me behind. Oh gosh. Oh no, okay, oof, that's actually a bit of an issue there. Controller dying. I guess just pray that it lasts. What? Why did it do that ordering? That was some sabotage there. Zuma, enter the water. That's a weird way of saying it. That actually doesn't sound that weird, but I'm trying to think of what would sound normal, but I don't know. Just saying enter the water sounds weird. I'm actually trying to avoid these treats and doing a bad job. Zuma, enter the water. That's actually perfectly fine. I don't know. It just sounded weird to me at first. Oh my gosh, Rocky. Appearance number 2 in the game, I think. Let's see. Oh wow. Oh man. There's actually probably some optimization here of like which order to do these in so that you're watching this cutscene the least. Well, I guess it would be the same. Never mind, I don't know. Okay, but like what? Okay. It's probably the same. Anyways. 57 minutes in, folks. I also wonder, like, okay, the QA process for this, like, there must be so many cases of just like, hey guys, it's a kid's game. They're never gonna encounter this. If they do, whatever. But then, the flip side of that is like, imagine being a kid, like 3 years old, and encountering like clipping through the map, and you're just like falling infinitely. Like the terror of feeling that when you have no idea what it is and what's going on. So maybe they actually have to QA these kinds of games even more than normal. Because if something goes wrong, it's truly catastrophic. Like I could see like, okay, imagine if I were 3 and I fell through the map out of nowhere, I would probably like never play the game again. Because I would be so scared. Is that extreme? I don't know. But I could see something like that where you're just like, what if I fall again? What if I fall forever? Glitches can be very traumatizing. Cue the Assassin's Creed Unity eyes showing up. on that guy. That one's still, that one's, you know, I think ingrained in everyone's minds when they think of glitches. Um, sheesh. So, okay, scan guy. Oi, oi, oi? What? I didn't know he's chill like that. Okay. Busting out the oi, oi, oi. Oh, jeez. I should have just got out of the vehicle and got back in. I don't know if you noticed, but that is like a lot of times much faster than trying to turn these things around. I say as I turn it around. That's what I'm saying though, like, okay, actually, I was thinking about this earlier. What was that bonk? I was thinking about that earlier, is like, whenever you do this game co-op, there's a way that you can always teleport to your partner. So, the categories for this are only any percent and I guess 100%, but like, the co-op percent would be huge time saving. Well, maybe not huge, but like, there would be so much time savings because you could just and it'd be really boring for the second person. Maybe you could do two controllers, one person, two controllers, but like every time you beat a mission, you could just keep your second player back at the next mission marker and just warp to them as soon as you're done. Unless it does something funky, like warp you whenever there's... He did the oi oi again. I don't know. It'd be something worth testing though, to see if this game can just be cut in half by using a second player. A co-op run. That would be really funny. And yeah. I'm sort of running out of things to say about this game. I like that message. Don't lose it, reuse it. Why trash it when you can repair it? It's so true. Okay, so we're on World 3. Every time I see that marker way down there, I debate it. I'm thinking, there's no way it's not faster to quit out. There's no way. And on top of that, you avoid these treats, so like it has to be the better option. But I'm just so worried that like I'll quit out, and then it's like, what if I spawn at Adventure Bay or something? That would be so bad. And I don't want to kill this run just based on an assumption. Because I'm not doing this again. I don't have the heart. I don't have the stamina. Or the wherewithal. I would like to point out that he just excavated that with a bulldozer instead of an excavator. Feels a little weird. I'm also curious how much of the percent of this game you are on foot versus driving. It must be like 80%, 90% driving. I mean, especially in a speedrun context where you're only getting out to do the quick actions. Anyways. Excavate with your bulldozer. I mean, can you still call it excavate then? I don't know. Maybe that's valid. But it feels wrong. Anyways. Oh my god, I know. Oh god, okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just switch me to Zuma. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do anything. I'm playing this for one reason. To not think. And you're making me think. I don't want that. Anyways, something I wanted to mention is that the cool thing about having a kid is that you like learn more about topics that you don't even would never even considered. Like I didn't think about construction sites and excavators, and then I had a kid who enjoyed that stuff, and it's like you just without even realizing it, you're like, oh yeah, I know the difference between a bulldozer and an excavator now. I know what a front loader is. I know what a cherry picker is. Like, I mean, you know what those things are before, but like, you don't appreciate them. Like, you see it now and you like, you want to shout it out. You want to shout out, excavator! Wow! And then you realize your child is rear facing and that he won't see it, and then he's crying because you called it out, you acknowledged it, but he can't see it. And you feel terrible about it. But anyways, I really should have checked beforehand if I quit out on these. I'm just gonna keep saying that because, I mean, this is like 10 seconds or more each time. And I guess like quitting out takes some time too, but I don't know. But yeah, same thing with like rockets. Like I legitimately could not have told you about like the stages of a rocket. I legit didn't even know that like this is embarrassing to admit, but like I didn't know that stage 2 of a rocket had engines and thrusters. Like I assumed all that was just in stage 1. And then like once it separates that like the next stage is just like coasting. I didn't think that it actually had its own propulsion. Same with stage 3. And yeah, when your kid has that wants to learn, wants to gain knowledge, and then you like gain the knowledge with them, it's really cool. I enjoy it. So shout outs to kids. I wouldn't have ever done this game. I never would have experienced this game if it wasn't for having a kid. Wow. Wow. It's powerful. Also, it's funny to me because by default you can't control a camera in this game. And I actually find that to be like way harder. Like I sort of understand why they don't want kids to like have to worry about the second stick in the camera. But like there's certain times where it's like I can't even see where my next objective is unless I spin around in circles until the camera just happens to show me the next one, you know? It's strange. I feel like it should have been manual camera on by default. And then you can optionally go turn it off. Okay, so we're like 3/4 done with World 3, and I'm looking at the time. I'm realizing there absolutely has to be like some kind of skip. Because ain't no way World 4 is gonna be done in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna look forward to submitting like a 2-hour run and then looking at the VODs of other people and realizing like, oh, yeah, I could have skipped a lot. Like, surely there's not a sequence break though, right? Like, in this game? Maybe I'm just that bad. Maybe I'm just that slow. But like, I'm pretty sure world record right now is like 126 and I'm at a 108 right now? There's no way! This is... I messed up. I messed up, man. Oh well. I'll finish it out. What else can I do? Well done. Okay, but that's what's funny too is like these, maybe it's obviously obvious, but these are the exact same missions too. Like, it's like rescue Chicoletta, do this, do that, remove this barrier, chase the cats. It's the same things, just in a different setting. And that's, I guess it makes sense, but I feel like they could have changed it up a little bit. Like, instead of chasing the cats, chase Chicoletta. That doesn't seem that crazy. Like, you already programmed the chasing aspects. Just change out the models from the cat to the Chicoletta. The models and animation. But you know, all respect to the devs. It's gotta be kind of disheartening to... I mean, maybe it's actually pretty fun to work on a game like this. I could see it being kind of cool. Because it's like, you still gotta have that separation of like... That was kind of the thing about game dev, is like, sort of like other things, it gives you... Where do I go? Oh. It gives you that thing of like... Takes away the magic. Because like you love video games and then you start creating one and you're like, oh, now I'm just overanalyzing this, or like thinking about the inner workings of this. I'm not just enjoying it anymore. I feel like that happens a bit with like music. Listening to music versus making music. You get in your head and you're like, how did they do that effect? And then it's like, yeah, with something like this, you can safely say, I work on video games, but I also enjoy video games. Because this is not a game that the devs would play, I'm sure. No shade to them, but, you know, they are not the target audience of their own game. So that I find that kind of cool, actually. It's like, sort of takes the pressure off. Like, you're not going to be like looking at the Metacritic of this and be like, oh, it's a 65, we failed. You're going to look at their reviews on Amazon and see like, my 7-year-old, or my 4-year-old loves this game. It's his favorite thing, and, you know, he learned how to use a joystick from this, and like, that's pretty cool. That's what it's all about. Teaching the next gen. Getting them ready to play GTA 6. Just kidding. It's kind of funny though, this is kind of like a little mini GTA in terms of the objectives you do and stuff. Maybe no one would agree with that, but you know what I mean. Driving, grabbing, sabotaging a blimp, you know, these are all GTA-like things. But yeah, I guess we're gonna collect another poster. Got a new poster. Oh my gosh. That achievement sound is so loud. Yeah, we got another poster. Good work, team. Then on to the next world. What? Who's that? What? See, I'm not well versed in the show enough to know why this princess is on my screen. What's going on? What? Okay, you saw that, right? What? What is happening? I'm fairly certain the truck is not up here. Oh, this is bad. It's sending me around the whole mountain when I was right next to it. Oh no, it is up here. Okay, good. That worried me. Okay, World 3 down. Like I said, there's no way we're beating this next world in 10 minutes. I missed something. Something's wrong with this run. But, you know, maybe 15 minutes. Maybe we'll get a 1:30 or something. An hour and 30. Who's this? You know what? I should be happy that there's someone new in this game and it's not just Chickaletta and the mayor. But also I'm missing all the lore, so what does it matter anyways? Is this supposed to be England? It'd be kind of funny if it actually, like, people drove on the wrong side of the road and stuff. Nope, they don't. I was actually kind of being hopeful, but that would just blow a kid's mind too much. What is she doing? Oh, repair the broken street lamp. It's like, you know, I told you that you couldn't see the objectives, but it turns out I also was just not reading them ever. I just assumed it was the same thing as the last world. Find the monkeys or something. This time in London. This is very London-esque. Minus the orientation of the road. Or the side you drive on. What do you call that? What's the technical term for side of the road you drive on? Is there a word for that? I actually don't know. I'll look it up after. Who bent these? Who bent these, though? Was it the blimp coming through here? Or just cleaning up after him, kind of thing? I should have listened to the cutscenes. I shouldn't have skipped through it. What was I doing? That's the real shame of speedruns, is that you just skip through all the cutscenes, all the dialogue. You don't actually know what you're doing ever. You just click buttons until it's over. But I guess that's life. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, look at how many are left. There's no way we're even doing that in 15. I've missed something crucial. And I'm pretty sure it's the quitting out aspect. Oh, jeez. Well, we've already dug in. We gotta finish this out. Who's Otis? Who's Otis? I legit don't know who that is. Okay, yeah, and you know, I was talking about earlier, like the dogs, cats thing. Okay, the thing is though, like you watch a show like Super Kitties, which is very similar to this, but Disney. And it's like, at least in that world, the cats are secretly super. So, you know, like the humans don't know that they're super. You know, and whenever they talk, they only hear each other talk. The humans don't hear them talk. So it makes sense that, like, they are normal in that universe. But, like, and then, like, same thing with the dogs. And the dogs and cats can talk to each other, and they all talk. And even, like, the other animals, like the birds, and every animal talks to each other. So it's all just kind of normal. It makes sense. But, like, as soon as you make it where one animal species can talk and the others can't, like, you're setting up this imbalance that doesn't make sense in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? It only makes sense for us in our world. For us to be the only species who talks. I don't know why I keep going back to that, but it's just... You just imagine that if any other species of being could speak in our world. Okay, you know what? I'm now realizing that, like, parrots can talk. But I guess, like, they don't really talk, they just repeat, right? Do they form their own thoughts? I guess some would argue that they do, because you can say, like, hey parrot, what is this bowl made out of? And they'll tell you it's glass or whatever. But do they actually know that it's glass, or are they just saying that because you train them to say glass when you tap the bowl? You know? But I do feel like parrots do, and like crows, you know, there's like those crows that can like push the buttons and say different things. And they'll like intelligently ask for things. Does that count as communication? Yeah. But like, but weirdly, like, yeah, we wouldn't revere crows above like other animals that can communicate less. Okay, I just realized too that he has the cats like dressed up as the Paw Patrol characters. That's very sadistic. He's like, not only are cats better, I'm gonna dress them up like your dogs to show you how much better. Like, what? Or do you want them to be like the dogs? Doesn't that kind of prove that they're worse? If you're like, I want them to be like these dogs that I'm saying are worse. What does that mean? You're like admitting defeat right then and there. Cats are better, but also I'm gonna dress them up like these dogs that I think are worse. Explain that to me. While I fly around aimlessly. Yeah, we got 6 minutes till world record, and I'm starting to realize this was... I should have watched the whole speedrun. There must be a lot of quit outs or a lot of somethings that make this much faster. I also feel like, okay, you know, you talk about like something like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, like it's a game that has a bunch of games within it. You know, the overall game is fighting, whatever, but then like there's little mini games and other activities and stuff, and it's like this kids game could have done that with a lot of things. Like they're like that moment where Zuma's diving in to get the thing. Like there could have been like a QT there, like some sort of little action that you take that makes it interesting. Like, oh, make sure to hit the X button right as the bubbles show up or something. Like, give the kids a little bit more of a win condition than just like walk to this part, press X. It's too easy. Oh geez, time waste. Alright, so this is absolutely one of those times where I would probably quit out. I should have looked. I should have looked it up. I'm sorry. Look at how far it is. Like every time I'm doing this is like minutes. I'm guessing quitting out and returning back in is like 5 seconds. Maybe 10. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for not looking it up. I feel awful. My duty as a speedrunner. I shirked it. Oh my god. We're saving Chocolata again. Even the Paw Patrol's like, really, dude? Are you kidding? They're like, you are one of those people that like calls 911 and just chats with them. Like you are wasting the resources, and you're the mayor. She's not even like messing up her own town anymore. She's like traveling abroad so that she can lose her chicken. Doing it in my own town was not enough. I need to go and disrupt other towns. Also, what? Did we not find her? Is that a fake chicken? Why are there inflatable chickens in the sand? Why would that be a thing? That doesn't... I don't know why I'm questioning that, but like... It's just weird. Okay, found Chocolata. Thank goodness. How is she breathing when she was buried in the sand? That's my question to the audience that you can't answer. Okay, halfway done, maybe? I messed up. I messed up somewhere along the way. How should this already be over? I don't understand. But you know what? Still get second place for this. Isn't that great? What? There's a blackout? Is that the lore here? That there's a blackout in the city? And yet, like, I'm seeing lampposts on and... What? What? The blimp's right there! You're looking for the blimp? Do you not see it? Is that really what we're going around asking? Where's the blimp? I'd be like, bro, look up. You're insulting me by asking me that. Maybe I'm misreading it. Okay, they're looking for kittens. What? What? I'm sorry to anyone who's watching this. I'm trying my best. I just bonked on the sidewalk. What is that? I'm just praying that I don't lose battery on this controller. What? Okay. Absolutely a time when I would quit out. I'm gonna look that up after and I'm gonna kick myself because, like, probably could have shaved off 30 minutes or something. Maybe not 30 minutes, but like a bit of time for sure. Really though, why didn't they have the traffic do the reverse? I feel like that would have been such a nice little thing. And wouldn't have been huge effort, right? I mean, these NPC vehicles are definitely just following a route. They're not like dynamic. So it doesn't feel like it would have been that hard to just set the routes the other way. Why are we spraying paw prints? What are we doing? Also, the jurisdiction of the Paw Patrol is very questionable. Why are they in London now, like, and able to use their equipment and stuff? Like, imagine just some firefighters from the US just show up to London and are like, hey, we're gonna start spraying stuff. Sorry. Like, that would not fly. And then they start asking people where a blimp is that's clearly right above them. You get kicked out of that city so fast, dude. Londoners they don't tolerate that. Okay, a few more. Also, it's funny because the unlocks are randomized, I guess, because I know that I had that hat in my other save file. So they must just randomize the order at which you unlock things, which feels kind of bad. Like, why wouldn't you just have it as a set progression? That way you can, like, make sure the best thing comes last and stuff. Feels odd. Also, if you have like 2 kids and they're playing this and they're unlocking different stuff at different times, that's just gonna result in fights. Why'd you get the jungle hat and I didn't? Like, how are kids gonna understand that? Why is there an elephant there? This game is tripping me up now. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but like, what? Do elephants eat hay? Look at all that hay. I don't think they do. Do they? I don't know what they eat. Why does that have a battery? Is that a battery? What is happening? I'm like trying to listen to the cutscenes now to understand what's happening, but it's just even more confusing. Why do I bonk on that sidewalk every time? Sorry, I'm starting to get frustrated because I'm realizing how long this is going to take. I thought this would be a quick little thing to do. It's going to be 2 hours, isn't it? Well done! Why does that have a battery? What do you mean? Search the air? You just saw it go in the bush. Also, we were nowhere near this spot that we're going to search for it. Please explain this to me. They have a network of tunnels in the bushes. I feel so bad every time I pick up one of those treats. I feel like I'm failing the speedrun. And I mean I am, so it makes sense. Why is there a 15 on that boat that's backwards? Can someone explain that to me? I know that like with ambulances, you know, they put like the words emergency or something in reverse so that like you look in the rear view and you see emergency and you're like, oh. But then you look at it outside of that context and you're like, why is that backwards? But like, why would the side of a boat ever need to say 15 backwards? Why would you ever look at that in a mirror? Wait, is he? Okay. Sheesh, dude. This is not going my way. This is a cool castle. Now we're like breaking and entering into the castle? Like, what? What is the jurisdiction? Literally breaking down the door. I didn't do that. Okay. Like, why couldn't Rubble pull the lever? Is it that crazy? Like, do they really all have to have their own jobs? Oh my god, there's another one. Wow. It's like this. The idea of this game is just busy work. It's like just do these really mundane things. I don't know why I'm just having this realization, but like, I mean, I'm really not, but you know, I'm just mentioning it. It's just click this button. Now click this one. Battery? What? So hit. The whole thing is that we don't want him to have his megaphone, but like meanwhile he's flown around the whole world showing this blimp off. So like, did we really fix the problem? Oh, look at this cinematic. Dang. Got the camera angles? They tried on this one. But what did that... What? Help them? You want to help them now? Why? What? That was a weird jump. Is this like anti-EV? Is this anti-electric? This is the first time in the game where it's like something's happening. We're actually on a castle wall. Look at this cinematic. Look at that. That'll work. Yep. The fact that it just popped off. Pop!
Uh-oh! Something's wrong, kittens!
How funny is it that he says, "Uh-oh, something's wrong, kittens," right as my audio disconnects. Well, my controller disconnected, and my audio disconnected. And little did I know when I plugged it back in that it isn't working. So this is me voiceovering after the fact, just to make this less boring, because it still has about 10 minutes left or something. Yeah, so I mean, what's weird too is that it like when the controller disconnected, the audio went down, and then when it reconnected, the audio went up and then went down whenever I reconnected it. So you'd think it'd be working and you'd be able to hear me talking right now, but if you zoom in on the video, you can see I'm chit-chatting away, and obviously that's not what you're hearing right now. You're hearing my voiceover. So sorry, I guess, for having to do this, but anyways, yeah. Wrapping up the run here, just doing the last few things. And you know, I recorded this yesterday. I'm editing it the next day and realized that yeah, I really should have watched a speedrun before doing this instead of just winging it. Being like 20 minutes over the world record is wild. And yeah, still haven't watched the world record run. I assume there was a lot that I missed. But hopefully this is somewhat entertaining nonetheless. I don't know. It was fun to do, kinda. Sorry that I didn't have more entertaining things to say. It's hard to voice over a game like this. There's just not a whole lot going on. So I try to keep it entertaining, but you know, it's a Herculean effort. Also, I definitely thought like I was done with the run at one point here, and then realized like there's that one last mission, so that was kind of embarrassing. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes. What else is there to say? I mean, I do enjoy the fact that, you know, this is an accessible run. I would love to see some, you know, more people on the leaderboard here over time, if that's possible. But yeah, the final time for me, I think, is a 142-ish, 141 something. And world record, like I said, at this time is like 123 or 4. So yeah, room for improvement for sure. Again, I don't know if I'll do this again, but you know, it's always fun to just try something different, try something new. And you know, like, this game is just really really easy to speedrun. Even though I did it wrong, it still is easy to just put a time out there, you know? You don't have to prep much. That's kind of the draw of it for me. I wonder what I'm saying in the video. I'm super curious. If anyone can read lips really well, let me know, because I have no memory of what I was saying here. But I do love that there's a huge red button on the bottom of the blimp. That's just pretty funny to me. Like, could you have made it more obvious where the shutoff is? Maybe it's an emergent. Maybe it's a requirement, you know, in this world to have a huge shutoff button clearly visible at all times. That's what I'm gonna assume. But yeah, it seems like Sky kind of gets to be the big end of game hero, you know. She's got her helicopter, and that counters the blimp pretty well. Yeah. But then of course, I mean, like, Chase has to have the final say, because he's the main guy, you know. Um. But yeah. Oh, actually, I guess Marshall has the final say. He presses the final button. At least I'm gonna assume. Yep. Bonked it with his head. That was actually surprisingly animated for this game. Like, didn't think it would actually have that animation. But again, like, the whole thing of this game is to shut off this blimp. And it's like, why don't you just let him do his thing? Like, he's not... This guy has no pull in this city. No one cares about him. So him flying a blimp around is not going to sway public opinion. See, this cutscene tricked me. I definitely thought I was done right here. You know, it has that vibe of like, okay, all done. And then, lo and behold, no, you're not done yet. Just a little ending part. But yeah, also, like, why does he cancel his thing? And then of course, yeah, let's organize a big festival for both. And it's like there's still this weird inequality of like the ability to talk. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense in this universe. Dogs are clearly superior. I keep going on about that. Maybe I should just not, but do you know what I mean? Anyways, the mayor kind of annoys me. I feel like she is not any better of a mayor than Humdinger. She just lucked into being the mayor of the city that is represented by dogs instead of cats. Okay, maybe she didn't luck into it, but she just doesn't seem like she's trying to be a good mayor. She keeps losing her chicken, and it's like, come on. Well, I mean, okay, Mayor Humdinger does not do much better, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, what was I doing here, dude? Huge mistake driving away when Chase was right there to talk to. Please ignore that. I also called him Chase. His name's Ryder. Chase is the dog. Please don't take anything I say seriously in this run. I'm not anti the mayor. She's cool too. I'm just trying to be cool by talking, and it's hard. But yeah, the the game's about to be over here. This is like the last little sequence. We get a night cycle, which is kind of cool. Just like becomes night right here. Just like 3, 2, 1, night. Right here, if I remember right. 3, 2, 1, night, and that's time. Yeah. So GG's everyone. Thanks for watching. It's been a great journey. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do it again. We'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, thanks Paw Patrol for saving the day from whatever the other thing was gonna be, the cat party. Which I'm just gonna point out the blimp is still going, so I don't know what they did exactly. But yeah, this is like the after the fact stuff. So time was when it faded to black there. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. GG's. Goodbye. So long.